Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Lebanon Utility Service Board for Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Please let the record reflect that all board members are present, less Jim Urban and Tim Hudson tonight, and that this meeting was properly advertised. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item tonight is the approval of our minutes from the February 23rd, 2022 meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those minutes, and if so, any questions, comments?
I move that the minutes be approved as written.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Bill to approve the minutes from the February 23rd, 2022 meeting. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, next action item tonight is with our Electric Operations Manager, Jeff Greeno, and he will address the board regarding electrical conduit RFPs. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, a few weeks ago, we worked with BF&S to create a RFP for the 2022 conduit installation. Everything was properly advertised, and we received 2 replies from 2 different contractors. Upon reviewing these replies with BF&S, Lebanon Utilities Electric Department, and our legal counsel, we determined that we would like to use both of these contractors to reserve their price listings. Having 2 contractors will give us the opportunity, if one contractor is busy and cannot do the work, we have a fallback for another contractor. I want to make note that we will, on every project, will be brought back to the board with cost estimates from both contractors. So I would like to recommend to the Lebanon Utility Service Board that we approve the 2022 conduit installation RFP for having the contractor Barriott as our primary contractor and the contractor Setco as our secondary contractor, and have General Manager Ed Baskell sign all documents.
Right.
Any questions?
Thank you, Jeff. Questions for Jeff?
I want to make sure I understand. So, if there is a conduit project that we anticipate costing over $15,000, you would ask these 2 contractors to say what they would complete that job for and bring it to the board?
That is correct. I will get quotes from both contractors and bring it to the board when it's over that spending limit. If it's under the spending limit, we will go by ask the primary contractor first, then go on to the secondary contractor.
Thank you.
Right, any other questions for Jeff? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to move to approve the 2022 conduit installation RFP with Barriott as primary contractor and Setco as secondary contractor, and have General Manager Ed Baskell sign all documents.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Aaron to approve the 2022 conduit installation RFP. Any additional questions or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right, our next item is an action item as well. Ryan Ottinger, our wastewater manager, is at the podium tonight to first address the BF&S GIS assistance agreement. Hey, Ryan.
Hello. This agreement will be for one portion will be for water and wastewater, the other for electric, to update and continue to monitor and help with any needs that we would have in our geographic information system, which is our GIS system. Also, basically, you've probably heard us refer to as our mapping system also. This has all of our infrastructures, electric, water, wastewater. We use them at every plan meeting, every TAC meeting. We take advantage of these. We even have it down to where you can click on a manhole or a hydrant, and you can get information off of that manhole. You can get information, real-time information on when that hydrant's been flushed, how long it was flushed, and we even have it set up in there to where when we run tests out of that hydrant for water quality, that data is in there also. So this would just be to not exceed $10,000 for water, wastewater, $10,000 for electric. And this is an hourly rate, so if we don't call them and need any help with GIS or need any updates to the system or anything like that, then we obviously would not be charged. It would just be on an as-needed basis, but to not exceed $10,000. And we do a lot of this in-house. Matt Hutton and the supervisors do a lot of this data entry in-house, but sometimes we do need some help, especially when you have the kind of growth that we have, to make sure that the new housing additions are put in there. And when we do, for instance, the Syracuse water main, if you go from a 6-inch to an 8-inch, you have to update that entire portion of the system too. So there's just kind of a lot of moving pieces. So having the flexibility of calling and getting some help, or having a quick meeting over a virtual meeting or an in-person meeting is nice to have that backup. So I can answer any questions that the board might have on this.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Any questions for Ryan on the GIS assistance agreement? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to move to approve the 2022 electric, water, and wastewater GIS assistance from BF&S in the amounts not to exceed $10,000 from the electrical utility and not to exceed $10,000 from the water and wastewater utility.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Aaron to approve the 2022 electric and water and wastewater GIS assistance from BF&S. Any additional discussions, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Ryan, stay right there. I know you're going to address the sewer pipe and manhole rehab program for 2022 as well.
Yes, thank you. This is an ongoing program we have established throughout our wastewater collection system. This program is vital with our efforts to combat infiltration and inflow into our system with where sewer lines might have cracks in them, have some offset joints, manholes might leak, and that allows stormwater or clean water to come in, and then we are treating that at the wastewater treatment plant, which there's a cost associated with that. And, you know, as you know, we don't have meters on our wastewater side, so all of our cost analysis is associated with the water side. So whenever added water comes in that hasn't been gone through the water treatment plant, then that water is unaccounted for, but yet we still have to treat it. So this project will allow us, or this request will allow BF&S to assist us in one, establishing the area. What we'd like to do is establish an area that is going to give us the most benefit. So we do some data collecting with some camera work. We have a camera truck that we take out, and we can actually put a camera in the sewer lines. That camera is able to detect any breaks, possibly any root intrusion that we can't take care of with our root cutter, or any infiltration that needs to be addressed with this project. Then we also have temporary flow monitoring, where we gather data on top of the data we have with our permanent flow monitoring. We gather some data and determine basically the best route for us to go to get the most results for our money. And you know, what BF&S will help with, they will help with establishing that area, with doing our advertising, helping us with advertising, the bid process, and also, they help us work with the city. If the city has any small storm lining projects, we're able to add that as a separate part of the contract. So it's billed separately, and it's not a budgetary item for us. It's just a pass through, and then the city reimburses us. But it saves a significant amount that they don't have to pay for mobilization and demobilization, as opposed to it being a singular project for the city. The equipment's already here. So this will just kind of get us started on this. This is a budgeted item. We budgeted $350,000 this year, and that's we're going to be looking at sewer lining, pipe bursting. Pipe bursting is a technique to where basically the company, we have an area that has some offset joints where the pipes don't line up that you can't line. So they will bore in the existing line with almost a very large drill bit, and it will separate the pipe, the current pipe that's in there, and sleeve in brand new pipe. And so there's no open trench, there's no open dig, we're not tearing up the road or somebody's yard other than the bore pit. And you basically can just replace the old line with a new line and take care of any offset joints that a lining project, if they're not connected, it's almost like gluing two pieces of wood together. You can't just put glue in the middle. The wood has to kind of be butted up against each other for it to glue together in a lining project. The pipe bursting, you can put another piece, basically put the whole piece of wood back together. I'm asking the board for an amount of $33,000 for the BF&S assistance with the 2022 sanitary sewer pipe and manhole rehabilitation program. And I can take any questions on this that the board might have.
Yep, go ahead.
Is the flow monitoring equipment, is that proprietary, or can I buy it in the market today?
ADS is, ADS is who BF&S uses, and they're almost like a subcontractor, and they provide all of our flow monitoring through BF&S, and that is there's no markup on that. That is just the contractor that they use, and so they provide all of our training, all of our the software for being able to go on and collect the data. There are different types of flow monitors, and we've actually looked into the different types of flow monitors. The current flow monitors we have are all from ADS, and so that's why we kind of prefer going with BF&S's recommendation, and that's to keep everything apples to apples. However, we can price that ourselves, but then there would also be the opportunity where we'd have to have the training on a new flow monitor and the software that goes with that to be able to capture that data.
The only reason I ask is I just want to make sure that by using the pass-through, you're not avoiding public purchasing requirements, and as long as you have an MSA or you're requiring BF&S to go through whatever quote process.
And that's a great question. How we got to this point where that's included is that when you do the manhole rehabilitation program, part of that is to have flow monitoring before and after. But we want them to leave the flow monitors in, and we want to increase the number of flow monitors in the system so that we can monitor what's going on in the system. So the flow monitors that they're putting in, rather than do a mob and demob and get a different flow monitor put in and do all that, we were just avoiding costs by doing it that way. Does that make sense?
And also avoiding just multiple brands with multiple software and multiple ways to operate it.
Yeah.
This way, it all kind of goes to the same cloud. That's probably not what they would call it, but I would just, for an easy explanation, and then we can use that data in our future decisions and to also see where we were. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, and whatever we need to do to make sure that that it falls within the guidelines, we will absolutely do.
Is the ADS flow monitoring cost included in the full budget amount, or is it included in the BF&S amount?
Flow monitor is included in the full budget amount.
Okay.
And that, we started that we had some temporary ones installed, and when we did the Hendricks Drive, the sewer main reroute. We decided at that point to start including the cost of a flow monitor in our projects so that we could have some permanent flow monitors and we could see some data to see if, basically if we're spending our money in the right areas and we have the right reasoning for lining that area. So we have some before and after. And then with the permanent flow monitors, like Ed was saying, when they're already in there, we put them in before. So then now we can have these be permanent, not a temporary flow monitor where they have to come back, remove them, add them to another job site, and then there's a cost associated with that also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Any other questions for Ryan? If not, entertain a motion.
I move to approve the 2022 sanitary sewer pipe and manhole rehabilitation program assistance from BF&S to include 1, engineering services for providing contract documents and bidding assistance invoiced on a lump sum basis for an amount of $21,100, and 2, the permanent flow monitoring equipment to be invoiced on a not-to-exceed basis of $12,000 unless approved by the Lebanon Utility Service Board.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Bill to approve the 2022 sanitary sewer pipe and manhole rehabilitation program.
So, to make I'm sorry,
Nope.
Are you ready for additional comment?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Any other discussion? And there you go.
So this sort of clarifies things, the way this motion's written is that BF&S is actually going to provide the flow monitoring equipment.
Yes.
Okay.
Through ADS, yes, and will be purchased through ADS, which is what our current system operates.
Right,
With
right.
ADS monitors, yes.
Okay.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, everyone.
Final action item tonight is the approval of our claims, payrolls, and transfers. Everyone had a chance to review those, and if so, questions or discussion on these items?
I move to approve the claims payroll transfers dated March 9, 2022 in the amount of $2,020,291.20 for claims and payroll and $6,696,022.88 for transfers.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Bill to approve the claims, payrolls, and transfers. Additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? All right. Any other business for, or from the board or for the board tonight? Any public comment, Ed, that you're aware of?
No public comments.
Okay, it looks like the next meeting is scheduled for the 23rd of March at 5 p.m. Anyone have anything else for the board tonight? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Aaron to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.